would what?
Transform my life.
Transform my life.
Beyond my wildest dreams.
Wildest dreams. So if you want to live and achieve and experience a life of transformation beyond your wildest dreams, what's it going to take? You expanding your what? Context. And who do you need permission? I'd like to test this today. You guys willing to play?
Yes.
Are you willing to play?
Yes.
Well, let's bring the man up who introduced me to this and the source of it.
Context, he was 18 years old and we were in Hawaii, and now he has, I don't know, how many businesses do you have?
A few.
Anyway, his big, well, I don't know, I mean, 200,000 or 300,000, I mean, I don't know how many months he makes, but his country's, he's all over the world, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of travel. Bottom line is it works. You get it?
Anyway, so it's been great to see Bill do what he's done and do that type of results, you know, whether he's in China, whether he's in India, wherever he is. So he's truly, you've got a sense that it's a globe, right?
Amen.
Yeah. So there's one other person who's not here, but his name is Joel Seiden. And Joel is worth, I don't know how many 100 million. I call him a billionaire, but he says he can't count that high, so he doesn't really know. But I asked him, I said, now you got all this money, you got a beautiful lady, he lives in, one of his homes is in Central Park West, 15 Central Park West. There's Terry, oh my God, there's Terry. Anyway, and Terry spends a lot of time at 15 Central Park West, don't you?
I did, and by the way, Marshall, I locked the doors so nobody can get out now. So.
And so he's an extraordinary human being too. But I asked him, I said, you got all this money and you've got a beautiful woman and you've got all these homes, so what do you need? What was the one thing's missing? Well, I had no idea. And he said, well, I'd like to have instant and accurate perspective. So here's the billionaire who wants instant and accurate perspective. That's his next gift. So what this is all about is sort of, Bill gave you the context, is we'd like to have you have a perspective of where we are on the planet, where we are and where it's happening, and then where we could be, and how we're going to get there.
Amen.
And one of Terry's another, like, one of the super brains in the world, and I've never seen anybody talk about givers get. This guy gives all his life. I've never seen anybody, and he's just such a giver. And so the idea behind this is to have you get a perspective of the planet. Now you have books, and each book has tabs. We used to just hand them out as we went along, but with all 100 people, we calculated just the amount of time to hand them out. It would take us an hour, total. So rather than do that, I'm asking a request is you don't look ahead, okay? The idea that I handed them out was I was afraid people would get ahead, okay? If you get ahead, then you're not present. So I'm asking a request is, would you be willing not to go ahead until we are ready to move ahead? You're gonna be reading stuff, we're gonna be dialoguing, we're gonna be doing everything else. And this is probably the first time in 25 years that I've ever handed anything out in advance. So there's a level of trust that I'm asking for that agreement. Is that okay? Is everyone just And the second, so I really, really appreciate the other is the choose off when we're on the map. That's it's really important when we want to rep this map. Now this map is a lot smaller than it was when I thought when we had it made. So it's really an interesting experience to have all of you on this map somehow. Okay? one of my sayings is anything worth doing is worth doing wrong for a little while. We're going to get a bigger map. But unfortunately, you guys are going to have you're just going to trust, we screwed up, I got the wrong size map, okay? So that's just what happened. So, and then we had a couple of files that you're going to see in here that look like they were not clean. Well, we corrupted a few files so that we got hard copies and copied hard copies, which were yucky. But we'll fix that too. So basically, no one's ever done this game this way ever. It came from Fuller, Buckminster Fuller, back in the 80s and 70s, and we started in the 60s, but really didn't really get to the early 70s. And we gathered all this information. I spent a decade with Bucky. It took us 4 years. Now you gotta say this is in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, 4 years to get the information. We updated it all in a week. So you want to talk about information change? I mean, 4 years, 1 week. So the world has really shifted. I mean, I did both, so I can tell from my experiences, we're really in a critical time, and we got choices to make, and I just am excited that you're going to have this experience. So it was Bucky's idea. Now, first 2 levels are his. After that, the world has changed since we did it, okay? So the rest of it's all stuff that we worked on as a team at Berkeley. So how we'd like to do this now is each of you represents 1% of the world's population. There's 100 of you, and that's why we wanted 100. Now, if I thought and saw the map, I probably would have had 50. Okay. But now it's going to be fun to see how we're going to do this, okay? There are also, your hat may have a number. If it has a number on inside, I'm not even sure, where is the number of it? Inside, there'll be a number. If you don't have a number, that means you're going to go on the map immediately, which would be 1950. So what we're going to do is we're going to go every decade and we're going to add more people to the planet. But if you don't have a number, what I'd like you to do is now is your chance to look where you might be on this map. Now, there are deliberately no names or anything. We just want you to try to figure out where you're from. So if you don't have a name, a number in your hat,